Hello, so what I thought I would do is a reading for everybody of what you may not see coming, Steve style. So styling, some of you may be called Harry, or you may be styling your hair, or styling or stealing. Okay, is it styling or stealing? Some of you might be a hair stylist. Some of you have got a lisp, and I'm picking up someone that is like Willow and has a lisp. But then I'm also picking up where there is this stealing something. So I'm going to take it from you. So is this a person? And the person that you're with, I'm going to take them from you because I want you back or something. And I'm going to steal someone from you. Also, I mean, I don't know if you're dealing with anything to do with like stealing money or stealing anything like that. But whatever it is that isn't yours, I want it back. Some of you may be having exes coming back and stuff like that may want you back and taking you from someone else that you may have met. So if you're in some kind of third party situation and there's this going between one person and another person and one person and another, there's a 2 energy here of judgment, which came up in Gemini reading. If you watch the Gemini reading, I think I channeled for half an hour when it came to that, and that was all about talks about God, which I don't talk about because you know me, I'm not religious in any way. But there was a lot of channeling through there that was to do with around religion, God, divorcing, separation, moving. And that is also judgment, which is a part of Libra for me because it's a 2. So it represents marriages, commitments, coming back and forward, make a decision on this path and that path. So if we kind of like look at that as a whole, for a lot of you, before we start with a reading of what you may not see coming, if there are any of these kind of situations in life going on, what you have to realize is that life is like a school. When all tarot card readers tell you and say you're going through a load of karmic lessons, that's you at school. That's you learning something, learning about the person, learning about yourself, self-worth, self-healing, loathing, breaking up with you, splitting up, getting back together, all of those kind of things of stuff that keeps coming around as a cycle. To you, back to me, back to you, back to me, back to you, moving, coming back, right? Till you can't think anymore and your head is spinning. 2, Judgment Day, right? So you're learning at school. Then you get asked to go away and then you're asked to come back after, say, 2 or 3 weeks or a month to take a test, right? That is you being put to the test, judgment. Are you learned enough yet here to realize that you don't belong here? You belong here. Spirit tries to get all they can to you to say you don't belong here, you belong here, right? But have you learned enough yet at school to graduate to college for something bigger? Okay, here. For something bigger. Could be dealing with a Pisces for a lot of you, or a Life Path 3 or a Piscean, but something small or something large. Okay, so I don't know, this person could have large anything, but bigger than this energy. So this person could have a lot of energy, a lot to give. But some of you may be in that judgment area of crossing over from going back to an energy because the person has now said, blah, 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 I want you back, which is your test. Okay, your retrograde test. Are you going to pass or are you going to fail under the illusion, 7 of Cups, that you may be under that illusion of a trick, of a fool, the trick of the light, going back to the dark energy. So you could have had a moment of like, okay, I had a brief period of where I'd graduated. This could have been coming up through Libra, Gemini, Aquarian reading. There was quite a few that this came up with where someone was moving back to the moon, which means to me as a mother, it's a 9, Life Path 9, possible Virgo, but the moon in a book is a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. But it generally means purgatory, and it means mother, because Mother Earth that gave oxygen to the coral reefs, when the moon was close, it gave us oxygen. That is classed as a mother, okay, in tarot to me. So this is like someone that may have moved back to their mother or something like that, or something's gone on and it's required you to move. Say if it was back to one's mother energy, right? Now there's this judgment energy here of like going back to the son, the father energy. Okay, I don't know. But let's see. So that's a conclusion of a lot of the readings that came up during this week. Okay, that's the majority of what a lot of you may or may not have experienced. And now let's see what's the conclusion of all of this in what my viewers or newcomers from someone from Newcastle or New Guinea may not know. What is it that the collective energy does not see coming? What do they not see coming? Someone's coming, coming quite a lot. If you're a kumquat or the name Charlotte, but somebody's coming back. Yeah, some of you have failed your test energy here, and you're thinking about going back to an energy. And some of you, like I said, you're like, hell no, I've passed. But yeah, a lot of you may fail your tests here. Yeah, see, what you may or may not see coming is that energy of now you're in limbo. Now you don't know whether to start something new or go back to something old. If those messages over this week have related to you of this leaving the past behind and progressing forward and going to college or school, or progressing spiritually onto the next venture of your life, you are now physically in limbo of not knowing whether to start the energy again with the person, the same cycle to do the same thing, or the name Michael, Melissa, Maria, Michael, Jackson, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jackie, Jasmine, Jack, anybody that's got J in their name. But this is, like I said, it's more dark energy of like limbo, of not knowing what the future's going to be. If I go back to my ex, is it going to happen again? Well, I can tell you through my experiences of my whole life of being 48, nearly 49, yes, you always fail. If you go back, it never works. If you go back to any energy that you more than likely have had a hell of a time with, of breaking up, splitting up, cheating, manipulating, fighting, narcissism, I don't love you, I don't want you, pushing you away, pushing you out, and you go back and all of that, do they work in the end? No. But it's up to you. But that's your strength of your emotional self. That doesn't mean, oh, you know what? People keep telling me to love myself. How do that? Become comfortable on your own with no one around. If you don't heal long enough before someone contacts you, you haven't healed. So you're likely to make a very foolish decision by going back because you haven't had enough time yet. Okay. But anyway, so the 10 of Swords is this limbo. Now I'll give you plenty of messages here, everybody. If you are a person of like, no, I'm definitely done, definitely had enough, I'm not going back. They may have contacted me, they may not have, but I am going my own way now. My world is my oyster. Could have something maybe to do with around the fish, life path 3 or Pisces. But the life is now my oyster, okay, and I can do as I please, okay? But I definitely keep picking up this energy of some of you of like, no, I'm betrayed and I'm hurt, you hurt me. And then someone might be saying, but I want you to stay. I want to work on this. Now, again, what has Steve been saying for the last 6 months? When someone says, let's work on it, what they mean is let's work on changing you. Because people don't change, definitely a person that says that can't change. They shouldn't. You shouldn't have to change yourself for someone. Okay, so if someone has been splitting up because you didn't get on for certain reasons of where they're saying, well, basically you don't cut the mustard sweet up. You know, I want you to be more like this. I would love you to stop being so angry, or I would love for you to look differently or be differently in some way. And you're like, well, I am not Optimus Prime, bruv. I can't change. Well, I'm sorry then, but it's over. What makes you think that that is going to be any different if you ever go back? Well, it means weak feelings. I'm sorry, but that means that your emotions are not strong enough in order to make your own decision over your own non-emotional valued of a decision. When you have strong physical emotion, you can say no to the past because you're not weak, you're strong. Right? Got to have strong emotions. But trust me, good guys with strong emotions always lose. Okay, the guys with weak emotion that can manipulate and cry and spat and do all of the, the narcissistic, I can't live without you, you're this, you're that. All of that is just bullshit, right? Let's see. That's not a masculine man, because if it was, things wouldn't end at the beginning anyway, right? Or a masculine, or a very decent female. Things would not end. The reason they do is trying to give you a sign to say you're not compatible, right? We have something better for you. So in limbo at the moment, anything that my viewers do not see coming, what they should be aware of. So some of you could have ended it with someone that has Leo or Aquarius in their chart. Now, someone new, like I said, if you are dealing with someone new and they are just waiting to find out whether you're going to go back to them or not. Now, this could be you watching this as the viewer, okay, or you could be the viewer if you are the person that's got 2 or 3 people, right? So many aspects. Have you or not, are you or are you not going back to your past? Because if you do, you're not strong enough. If you don't go back to your past, you're strong enough. You have learned temptation to not go back to the past because you are not weak, you are strong. If you are weak and you go back now, it will fail. Okay, a failed marriage is what I'm hearing. But I'm sorry if my fingers are dirty, but I've been working this morning. Funnily enough, I am a male. And I just realised that as I was kind of doing that. But yeah, if you go back to the past, you're obviously not strong enough in order to not go back to temptation. If you are tempted to reach out and go back to the past, where you've had a cycle of beginning and endings and beginning of endings, if you go back, you're weak. I'm sorry, but you haven't learned anything. So you need to go back, learn that this is a cycle of the same. You'll probably watch this in a few months if this relates to you now, and you'll be back to square one. This is a timeless reading, right? So you go back to school in something small, okay, waiting for it to happen again because the trust has been broken and God knows what. And then what happens is later on, you'll be back here trying to grow again, but then somebody, because this is spiritually what they're trying to get me to look at, these symbols. This is being caged spiritually. This is an awakening. This is being able to like fully open up spiritually and understand and learn about yin and yang, right? Dark and light and the passageway between here and here. If you want to ascend spiritually from here to here, you need to stay where it's the brightest, where it's the safest, where it's the nice, light, vibrant energy, not go back to the dark energy, right? So Luke or Sky or Walker or Tyler, okay? But if you're not strong enough, you go back to the past. Guarantee you it'll fail. You'll be back here within a month or two, and you'll be back to watching this reading thinking, am I now strong enough before they call me to go back again? And then if you go back again next month or the month after that, you end up going back here. You descend, but you don't ascend. Right, so you need to look at your descendant and your ascendant signs, right? Could be Pisces maybe, because I'm picking up this sign here, right? So this would be Virgo, this would be Pisces energy, right? Not all of you are going to relate to that, obviously, because we don't even have those cards out yet. But let's see. So the collective reading for what they don't see coming, that there's a male here. Very sexual, very sensuous, okay, wanting to know, are you strong enough to leave your past behind? Because you seem to have turned your back on me. I've got a very strong connection with you, but you seem to be focusing on your past. You seem to be focusing on this ending all of the time. There's a very dangerous energy here where someone has or is about to go back to their past. They're in this crossover, in this between heaven or hell of ascending or going back down. You know, you're not really going to go to hell or heaven in a little rowboat, number 6, Capricorn or Gemini. Okay, but this male here, I read like this. There's many things I read about is also directional cards, how they're looking, what their eyes are focused on. Someone's eyes are focused on someone's pussy. Just saying, right, as a phallic, nice, light, vibrant, fun, phallic energy for any of you who are out there for like, you know what, I just want something fun. This energy is definitely looking at someone's posterior and say, well, bend over and let's see your pussy. So I'm just saying, because it is a Leo, right? But anyway, the person that also commented and saying putting Capricorn and Gemini together as a number 6, what an absolute load of ridiculous. Why don't you fuck off? You've got absolutely no idea what it's actually like to be a psychic and a real one, and someone that understands about numerology and astrology and tarot and people. And then you come along by listening to way too many false tarot card readers trying to tell a real one that they don't know what they're talking about. Right? But anyway, you continue to watch. It helps me out. So, like I said, at the moment, what I've got here is as a nice, light, vibrant energy, someone that's interested in looking at your bits, someone that may just be very phallic, very... I mean, this came up in Gemini reading, and I don't get it, man. I don't get it why people believe that sex is actually wrong, right, or anything like that is wrong. You tell me what is actually wrong with those kind of things. It's only through prehistoric days. Back in the day, years and years ago, during cavemen times, cavemen and women never actually wore anything at all. But as soon as we had to start covering bits up, that's what make males more than likely want to see what the females got as a package. Right, because I was talking about an instant rush of blood to the head, but where women take 20 minutes to stimulate. Right, where men are straight there and women are 20 minutes, so you take it slow. Right? But then when you also look at that, prehistoric days, when it came to having to cover everything up, because we can't see it and we can't have it, we want it even more. So it's flirtatious behavior, it's more desirable energy. Women do that more because they know how to possibly control that. I need to take it slow. Where men are like, well, I want it now, right? Any kind of like relationship or anything like that, men need to learn to temper themselves, to temper their energy here. Okay. But like I said, this could be a nice, light, vibrant energy that some of you are looking for. Now, if this goes down to a negative energy, this person's got a very, very strong feelings and emotions for someone, but they're rooting for this person to end their cycle. They're kind of like, oh, why go back? Don't go back to your past, goddammit. I'm right here. But am I not good enough for you? Why am I not good enough for you? Because I can give you everything that you want. The sex would be great. The life would be great. There'd be a really good life here with a King of Wands. It would be fun. It's not just a phallic energy. It's quirky. I don't mince my words. Like, they're not a mincer, Dave. Right? They're very quirky, very high in life. They're very up for it. They're not shy. This person doesn't care about being shy or wouldn't not ask you out, wouldn't say that you're attractive if you're not. This person would be like, damn, y'all got a nice, So this person here is really willing and wanting this person to leave their past behind. Now, for you guys that may say, Steve, I know we're on this Ascension thing and whatnot, and I wish they would, and I've been waiting for this person to leave their partner for longer than, say, 6 months. Don't wait any longer than that. You got to start moving on with your lives. Don't remain addicted to an energy that doesn't want you and they want someone else, right? That can maybe happen in the future later on, but if a person has to go back to their past and they free willingly want to, you can't control destiny. Let them make the mistake, and then you may meet someone else here. Okay. But, this is this energy of what I'm getting, of what a lot of you may or may not know, is the fact that there's a man rooting for this person to end their past and start to move on and move away from it. This could be your mother and father also. Not happy that someone's not strong enough to fight the temptation of going back to their past. Now, like I said, some of you may have not been with anyone and you've just ended the situation. These are your options. These are your choices. Who are you, right? Do you know who you are? Meaning, have you given yourself enough time to heal before you're going back to your past to start to be able to realize that this guy is probably better for you than the past? Have you healed long enough to know that? Okay. I don't think a lot of you know exactly what this King of Wands would do for you here. Because they or you have a very strong connection together. But again, with a lot of weak individuals, I'm sorry if you are coming across as weak, it's down to you. But I don't mince my words, Dave. If you are coming across as weak, you go back to your past, but please do not be under the illusion that it will work, right? That's falling for the trick of the light. That's falling for someone's vulnerable emotion. When people cry and they're like, oh, but I love you and I want you to stay and I need you. You're my forever after twat flame. And and they go through all of the emotions and stuff that they never let out when you were there. What does that do to a vulnerable female? They start to quiver at the knees instead of like, fucking pull yourself together, man. Like, man the hell up and live your life on your own. Okay. Right, they go back. Let's see. Because this could be a life path 1, manifesting some kind of energy of where they haven't given themselves time long enough in order to be able to heal. And because they're facing this ending, they're feeling stronger and weaker, like stronger by every day, but weaker the more they concentrate on the ending in their mind, or the more they concentrate on their ending if this actually be their ex. Because this could be a new person in the future, but it could also be their ex presently that is really wanting this person to focus on the ending, to make them realize, I want a new beginning. Please don't turn your back on this new beginning we could have, because I want you back and I don't want you free. I don't want you free from me yet, because I haven't learned. Have you? No, Cinderella. Of course I'll come back, David. Right? Well, great, because then we can both be weak together, living in a weak environment. So what happens in a week? I give it a week before it happens again. If people go back, that's what Spirit's saying. I'll give you a week. Whatever that may mean to you. 1 week. What do my viewers not see coming? What do my viewers not see coming? Ace of Cups. See, again, it's all in the direction of, it's both energies, because this is a start and an ending. So this is going to be a starting and an ending, right? You either start a new path of someone new that keeps offering to you, but this person here keeps focusing on their ending. So this can be your ex that's offering to you a new beginning and a new start. But don't forget, because tarot looks great, it doesn't mean that your future is going to be great. This can change tomorrow, in a minute or two, right? Next week, next month. So momentarily, past energy, yeah, they're offering more than likely, momentarily. Okay, you'll have to see how that goes, go back. But from Steve's spirit and Steve's book, will it work? No. Right, trust me, I went back to my ex 25 times and it never worked. So I also went through it myself for you people that may not know with a Leo, right? Didn't work, okay? Let's see. Excuse me. Until I was strong enough in order to say, you know what, I hold no animosity at all. I really don't. But a relationship with you just doesn't work. It just don't, and we both need to really come to that conclusion. We've tried enough now to realize and learn enough, surely by now, the fact that it will never work, because it hasn't, right? Like I said, some people like myself spiritually need to go through that many times in life so I can actually teach it. I probably, in my spiritual calling, have needed to go through all of these things to be sacrificed as a Pisces in order to be able to teach what Spirit really wants me to do. Is to, because I always say, whether you go to a rehab, what I've also been to, okay, but the best people to actually learn from are the people that have actually been through it. Okay, you either read it from a book or you actually get told to it by a person that's experienced it, right? Let's see. So what do my viewers not see coming? See, again, somebody is prepared. This is an ex and a future person. An ex and a future person. Everybody here is in limbo of one person knowing or not knowing whether they're actually going to go back to their past or not. There could be multiple people waiting here, right? They're all waiting in a line, okay? Hold the phone, you know it never stops. It's the last thing I hear at night. It's the first thing in the morning. But again, I wait for you. But how long will you wait for me? Not if you go back to your past. If you go back to your past, I'm not going to obviously wait for you. I may be here for you in the future, but because I'm strong enough to say, okay, if you want to go back to your past, so be it, go. I'm not going to control you to not go back to your past. I'm not controlling. If you have a stronger connection with the past and I'm not good enough, go back to your past. Okay. Will you possibly be here in the future if it goes wrong? Fuck knows. Maybe, maybe not. Don't know. Can't tell you, but I'm not waiting long. Okay. Because I'm getting slightly impatient of where I'm saying, if you have a stronger connection with this person, then stay there. Like I said, majority, and I have to say this from a male perspective that's emotionally stable most of the time. Yes, I do get slightly emotional-ish, but it doesn't take me long to get over it because I'm a fish. But majority of females that I've ever met have never been strong enough to not want to go back to their ex. Okay. I mean, I did it, like I said, 25 times to the point where I was numb. So I kind of learned it. But every female that I've ever kind of met along my way, they've always had an ex around. And have they and do they go back to their exes? 100%. They all go back to their exes, right? And even I've done it in the past where I've had people and then I've gone back to my ex. But again, it never worked. It never worked for me and it never worked for them either. So we're all learning together the fact that everybody should be under the same conclusion, right? Does anything ever last that long when you go back to your exes? No, it equivalently doesn't. For third or fourth energies, you know, fine, go back to your ex and leave me, but it won't work for long. And then you'll possibly reach out to me maybe in the future during a retrograde schooling moment, but possibly by then I've learned and you haven't and I've moved on. So when you look at preordained destiny of like, how is my life going to be? What does my future look like? Well, with the past, pretty much the same is what it looks like, alone, on your own, because it will end. Now, what does my future look like if I make the choice with the future? Completely fucking different. Completely different than your past, that's for sure, right? So that's how you alter and change your life. You don't go back to your pasts. You alter and change it by going to the future, because the future is yet to be fucking built up and everything, and emotions flowing and everything flowing, and the excitingness and the, wow, I can now build my life maybe with someone that I connect with a lot more than I did with my past. That's my reward. Or is it the fact that everyone that I meet just always seems to end up failing and it's terrible? Well, that's our job in order to teach you lot. Right? What am I good at? Bad relationships. What do I do? Make some money out of it. You know? I'm good at fucking up relationships. Great. So what can I turn that into a positive? Well, I start giving advice to people. Let's see. What does the collective not see coming? Harry Potter's wand. Swish, swish, whoosh. I've been rubbing one out over you. I've been knocking one out, or I want to. Now, like I said, opportunities. These can be missed at any point, right? You can change your destiny at any point, whether it be the right or wrong decision. But these are all opportunity that knocked. Are you going to take them or are you going to miss them? It's up to you. If you choose the past, This is the past offering you these opportunities of reconciliation. But how long do they last? Well, just concentrate on your past. How long have they lasted in the past? Right? Is anybody a poet out here or what? But how long does that last with the past? How long does that last with the future? Well, these are more than likely potentially to last a lot longer than the past because the new is exciting. It's vibrant. Okay. It's ready. Okay. So it's good light energy where we haven't argued. We're getting to know each other. It's fun. It's exciting. Blah, blah, blah. What's the past like? Well, the sex is good on the first night. After that, it's third night. Then there's the argument. Then there's the worry, the stress. Then there's the, oh shit, a leopard doesn't change its spots, Steve. There's a leopard is a leopard. A can of Pepsi Max is a can of Pepsi Max, Maxine. Has it changed? Transform into something else because I don't want you to be Pepsi Max. Well, why don't you get up off your fat ass and go and get one then? Because I'm a can of Pepsi Max and nobody's going to change me. If you want me to be a sandwich, well, then get off your fat ass and go and make one. Oh, well, you ain't no good then. I might as well replace you. Oh, well, okay, fair enough. But at least I'm still a can. You can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, you can. Chuck a can. Chuck a can. Can anybody chuck a can? Yep, definitely. If you're pissed and you got a twat standing in front of you. Is someone drinking here? I don't know. Like, I'll tell you what, let's have a couple of bevies and let's get plastered. Yeah. I've got ADHD, all right. I'm getting through my Diet Pepsi. Oh, just a quick catch up for any of you who have followed me for quite a while. My ADHD medicine rocks up tomorrow after 3 years of waiting. It actually turns up tomorrow. I start my anamoxetine, which is called something different I think it begins with S. It's the non-stimulant one, where the research tells you that you're going to be suffering through a hell of a lot of fatigue and God knows what else and tiredness. So I don't know how that's going to work. But anyway, let's crack on. So what is this 10 of Swords? What does this mean for the viewers of what they don't see coming? 7 of Wands, like I said, good if you're the one that is defending and blocking the past out. Because they are weak. You don't have to be weak. They are for their defenses, right? Don't let this person convince you to go back. You need to put up your barriers. This is your lessons. 1 in 7 between your first house and your relationship house. 7, right? This person's probably got very weak defenses, right? You should have very strong defenses because this person's like, oh my God, Cinderella, right? I want you back. What? No, I'm sorry, but I've learnt my lesson. You said it was over. There is no going back. I'm not tempted anymore. Okay. By your facade. Okay. Because this person's got weak defenses, more than likely. Have you got strong defenses, barriers? Or like, well, you know, we've been going through a lot of lessons, Cinder, and really what I want to do is go back to the past and try and work on it. No, 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 no. Go back to the beginning of the video and watch the messages. Okay. Strength card. Well, it's the new and the old. It's both. This is why this person's going through so much. Because they might be like, right, every motherfucker out, I don't want anyone around me. You're all the same. Right? And they're like, listen, I've been waiting here to hear from you. Are you going back to your ex or not? I don't quite know what's going on. Right? You haven't talked to me. I need to talk to you to find out. Why go back? Okay, I'm somebody new that wants to be with you. I'm the one who wants to be with you. Because we're a number 2. Soulmate, right? I'm the soulmate that's been waiting to be with you, but you keep focusing on your past. Are you going back or not? Change the scenario around. The weak ex energy of what you're connected to. I want you back, Cinderella. Fuck off, Dave. I'm strong enough now in order to say no. I don't need this back in my life because it didn't work before. And if it didn't work after that, after once, that's all right. Twice, it starts to become a little bit suspicious. 3 times is a pattern of behavior. If you've gone past 3 times trying it with this person, sing them a lullaby. Okay, because that's a pattern of behavior. You can't break patterns of behavior like that. Okay, so karmic lesson. So what's the King of Wands? 4 of Wands. Again, somebody might be like, oh my God, your energy's so strong, past partner. You must be my real twat flame. I can't wait to move back and be with you again. After all of this, what we've gone through, I realized I really do love you now. Momentarily. Can you come back so we can have really great sex for the moment? Yeah, sure, no problem. Or, no, I've got someone new, I've ascended, I've learned. I've got someone that really does want me, that really will look after me. Okay. Then your life doesn't change. Why? Because it changes momentarily of option. Of course it does. Feelings change momentarily. That's why you keep going back, right? So you go back, your life changes momentarily. But the light turns to dark because it starts off with darkness. So the light suddenly turns to dark because it's a karmic lesson. So school, college, graduation, or school being asked to go away for a week or 2 and then go back to school to go for a test. Right? And then obviously you fail. So you have to go away again. This is you more than likely moved away, blah, 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 parents. And then you go back to school. What's the Ace of Cups? 2. I really don't know what to do. See, this started off at the Gemini reading of 2, where it was judgment. I don't know what to do because my husband wants me back. It's finished, it's ended. He's reached out to me. He's told me that he loves me. He's got a very strong connection with me, but really what he's got is a boner. And he can't forget me. And he's told me all of these things and whispered in my ear and made me all feminine again. And suddenly now I'm on the precipice of running back and making a very silly decision because I go back to the past under the illusion that Steve doesn't know what he's talking about. Right? Even though I might think, oh, well, he might do, but I'm still going to do it anyway. Well, you may as well stick a needle in your eye. Okay, because you give up on the future and you lose it. Because you'll be under the illusion that the past will give you this, but it does momentarily. That's why it's an addiction. Surprised you haven't got a 9 energy here. Because, you know, you're addicted to the energy that goes back to codependent. Codependent, independent, codependent, independent, codependent, independent, codependent, independent. You're not strong enough to break away from the addiction. We all live in a year 9, all of us. 9-year cycles. What is the 2 of Swords making a decision over? Money. Don't know. It's still a 1 or a 10, and it's still a new or an old person. They're I don't know, man. They don't know what they're doing really, because they're tempted. Exes do this. I told you, I've experienced it so many times, and it never has worked. And you can talk to someone until they're blue in the face, and they'll still do it. 7 of Pentacles. We've got people queuing up here in the future, waiting for this person to make a decision on who they're going to be with. Unless they're lying and they're not telling you the truth, the fact that they may have choices, well, then that's someone that can't be honest, right? What is the 7 of Pentacles? Yeah, another 7 energy, needing boundaries, having a slight, like the way you ascend is by having an awakening. You get your choice. You know, manifestation doesn't come within a day, right? Trust me, I've learned. When me and my ex parted our ways for the final time, okay, when it literally was down to me and said, you know, I'm sorry, but we can remain friends. That's good enough. But, you know, I'm sorry, but it really is over, you know. I moved on with my life. Physically, okay, I'm really not, I really can't go back into a relationship anymore. It's apparent it's not going to work, right? Probably, what was it? I realized the manifestation was of being single, probably 2 months, 3 months of a manifestation then where spirit was kind of like, okay, we've realized you guys have gone your separate ways, right? We can start to, make your life more, we'll give you more now, right? The Tower. So an awakening. I'm having a bit of an emotional breakdown. I'm still connected to you, wanting to know, are you going back with them or not? Because I don't know whether we're going to start something or end something. The past is also going through that too. Are you coming back to me or not? Because I don't know whether to start rebuilding with you or not. I'm waiting for your answer. Who do you want to start your life with? Past, where it remains the same, or future, where it remains different? Me, I always say different, but Ace of Wands, through experience. Ace of Wands, the sun. The sun ain't gonna shine anymore. Gemini and Pisces. Gemini, Cappy, maybe. Pisces, the sun. The energy is better here than the past. And you got the moon, living with one's mum, Six of Cups, Libra, divorcing, separation, children, mortgages, house, home. Jesus Christ, you could probably have it all with this person and work on something great and manifest it at distance, because judgment is here, right? So basically, your counterpart could live in a different hemisphere, or the name Hemmett or Brian, okay, or Ben. But your partner could live at, I don't know, because this is living together, husband and wife, but it's also people that live where, across the world here, because you also have that energy here. You see, manifesting a new beginning. But that's what I said, it's Judgment Day. Basically, fuck all these cards here. It was in the conclusion. Just watch a Gemini reading. It doesn't matter if you're Gemini. One of all of these people, out of these people, is where that reading is coming from mainly. Here, this. Gemini is also /Cappy, because they're sixes. Right? If you've ever read life path numbers, you'll realize if I'm doing a life path 6, it also relates to a Gemini and a Cappy. So if I was doing a Capricorn reading, why would a 6 not relate to a Gemini? It's because the woman is anal and has got absolutely no idea about how readers actually should read. But never mind. So, because this is a 2, obviously relates to the major arcana of Libra, right? Which is the justice energy of divorcing, separating, assets, money, divorce, and all that. And then the separation of money, building home, house, children. Okay, but there's a lot more to it. So it's a 2. Do you want to go back to your past? This is school. Okay, you've been schooled. Everybody's at school. All of the souls are at school learning lessons. You graduate, you finish school, and you go back home to the moon. Let's do it. I'll show you. Let's do it. If you've got time to watch, because you might not, because this is free, so fuck you. Who gives a shit? Here. You go back to what? The moon, right? So you go back to one's mother energy and you start again, blah, blah, blah. You start to heal and everything starts to grow because you got family around you. You got support around you. Things start to grow, but have you give it any time? Because this can be family or it can be husband and wife. You get it, right? So it still gives you those aspects of how complex tarot really is. What is a general reading? A general reading, right? Even though it's like, oh, fuck me, that really relates. So go back to one's mum, but generally you go from school back home, right? Have you studied at school? Yeah. Have you been doing all your homework? What homework? Well, you got a test very soon because your ex is going to come back. Oh, are they? Yeah, mum. Oh, so what's been happening? Well, he's a prick, blah, blah, blah. He told me he didn't love me, told me he didn't want me. We've split up. He said all this and he said all that. And now I need your support, mum. Oh, well, don't go back, will you? Because if he phones you and gives you a blow and a call and says, Listen, you've been at school for the past 5 years. We need you to come back and take a test. Yeah, I know he's going to call. He will do. I know he will. Don't go back, will you? No, I won't. I promise. True or false? Lying or telling the truth? Lying to your mum, lying to yourself, or what you're doing here. So say, well, I wasn't really lying. I just didn't quite know. But say I was lying. Okay. So they phone up. Hello, Cinderella. You've been at school for the last 5 years. We need you to come back and now do a test on everything that you've learned here. Are you going to come back to me? I love you. I want you. Blah, 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 so on and so forth. Yes, of course I will. Failed. Failed instantly. Right? Because you should have known enough already. Should have learned enough here, metaphorically. You should have learned enough here where you passed with honours, not needing to go back. I've learned enough anyway. I've graduated to college, right? And then you ascend even more, right? And then even more and even more. But the more you go back and the more you go forward and the more you go back and the more you go forward, the more you remain in limbo, right? Here, mother and father, keep going back towards the sun and the moon and 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 the sun and the moon. Okay. Children and everything else start being involved. You're like, oh shit, now I'm pregnant. And then we got divorced. And then my life took a complete turn for the worst because my husband actually really was cheating on me. And when they said, let's have a child, that'll work things out. Oh my word. But then we had a child. And then he really was cheating, what I found out later. And we really wasn't compatible. Then what am I? A single mum. Having to do it all on my own. What happened to that guy back in 1956 when I could have left this twat very early on in my life, but I didn't? Oh, well, at least it's a story to tell grandkids that I could have been really happy. But I didn't. I was foolish. I made a mistake. Back in 2025, I made a decision to go back with my ex. The real life complexities of life, Boogaloo. So there you go, guys. Thanks very much. I really hope you enjoyed the story. Please tell me, does it relate to you in any way or anybody that you know? Do you like these readings? Do you want me to do more of them, say once a week after I've finished the star signs? And then do a conclusion of what we may or may not have learned over this period of time. But please like, share, comment, subscribe. It really does help out. I can't express how much that does help. If you skip it, it really obviously doesn't, does it, Dave? Because it doesn't do what it says on the tin. The more you interact with the channel and the adverts and the joining and the liking and the commenting, obviously people are going to see it because YouTube's going to think, yay, crackerjack, people like that. So let's give it to someone else that we think might like it. So it helps me out. If it helps me out, I help you out, right? Because what we really want, don't we, is YouTube to pay myself so I can do this for you all the time. If YouTube doesn't pay me, and then I have to start charging you guys, which makes it very boring, very placid. And what we really want is to have a good channel, right? So where we can all experience it on YouTube's expense and not your own pocket. But if you would like to, you can join my join button below, which is only $3 or $4. And it has 150 teaching videos on how to channel what they mean, which is an ever-expanding book of karmic knowledge. And there's loads of tarot readings on there too, but there's 150 teaching videos on there for you to dig your heels in for $4 a month, right? And it helps me out. It really does, okay? So there you go, guys. Thanks very much. Really do appreciate it, and I'll see you soon.